Have you ever questioned why so many older adults find themselves awake at 3 a.m., unable to drift back to sleep? You might lie still in the quiet darkness, staring at the ceiling, wondering if something is wrong with your body or mind. The reality is, this experience is far more common than you may realize, and it isn't just an arbitrary habit or an inevitable part of aging. In this video, we'll uncover 5 key reasons why waking up around 3 a.m. becomes more frequent as people grow older, and what these early awakenings might be trying to tell you. Each reason sheds light on deeper aspects of your body, health, and life experiences. By the time you reach the end of this video, you may have a completely new perspective on your sleep. These insights go beyond surface-level explanations. They're rooted in real science, physiology, psychology, and the natural rhythms of aging that often go unnoticed. We'll delve into hormonal shifts, sleep cycle changes, potential health challenges, and even emotional and social factors that may be subtly influencing your sleep. And we'll do it in a way that's honest, empowering, and deeply respectful of the journey you've been on. So if you've ever found yourself waking up around 3 a.m. and wondering why, you're in the right place. Stay with us until the end, because what you'll discover might not only improve your sleep, it could also help you better understand and appreciate the changes your body is going through. Before we start, we ask you to like the video and leave a comment to help the channel grow. Subscribe and activate the notification bell to stay updated on our content. Now let's begin. The first reason, decreased melatonin production. One of the most evident explanations for why older adults frequently wake up in the middle of the night, often around 3 a.m., is the gradual reduction in melatonin levels that happens with age. Melatonin is the hormone responsible for regulating the sleep-wake cycle, often referred to as the body's internal clock, and it plays a crucial role in helping you fall and stay asleep. When you were younger, your body likely produced a steady and robust amount of melatonin each night, allowing you to sleep deeply and uninterrupted for long stretches. However, over the years, melatonin production declines, which can significantly impact the quality of your sleep. You might still have no trouble dozing off at bedtime, particularly after a busy day or a relaxing evening. But by the early morning hours, whether it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or even 4 a.m., your melatonin levels may drop too low to sustain deep sleep. You may find yourself waking up not because of external disturbances like noise or dreams, but simply because your brain is gradually shifting toward wakefulness, lacking enough melatonin to keep you asleep. This isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong or that your body is failing. It's simply a natural part of aging. Additionally, your sleep environment can make this effect even more pronounced. Even minor sources of light, such as a street lamp shining through the window, the glow of a bedside clock, or a hallway light creeping under the door, can further suppress melatonin production. As you age, your body becomes increasingly sensitive to these environmental cues, making those early morning awakenings even more frustrating. Take Harold, for example. At 72, he's always considered himself a good sleeper. But lately, he finds himself wide awake at 3:15 a.m. almost every night. He isn't anxious or distressed, just fully alert, as if his body is ready to start the day. Once he realized that this wasn't a personal failure, but rather a natural consequence of reduced melatonin, he stopped blaming himself and instead made simple adjustments to his routine. Now, he keeps his bedroom darker, avoids screens for an hour before bed, and takes an evening walk to reinforce his body's natural circadian rhythm. These small changes help signal to his body that it's still nighttime. While he still wakes up early sometimes, he's learned to work with his body rather than against it. This kind of awareness can be transformative. When you understand that waking up early isn't necessarily your fault but rather a natural shift in body chemistry, you can make choices that support your sleep instead of resenting your body for changing. That's the power of knowledge. It turns frustration into self-compassion and allows you to make smarter decisions about how to care for yourself at night. The second reason, changes in the sleep cycle and advanced sleep phase. Another major factor behind frequent 3 a.m. awakenings in older adults is the natural shift in the body's internal clock, a phenomenon known as advanced sleep phase. As we grow older, our internal body clock gradually shifts forward, causing us to feel tired earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning. You might catch yourself dozing off during a late-night movie or waking up naturally at dawn, even on days when you wish you could sleep longer. This change isn't just about habit, it's rooted in biology and tends to become more noticeable with time. When you're younger, your sleep cycle often aligns with a later bedtime and a wake-up time that matches the daylight hours. But as this rhythm advances, your natural sleep window moves forward as well. You may find yourself unintentionally falling asleep around 9 p.m. or even earlier, which means that by the time 3 a.m. arrives, your body has already completed a full sleep cycle. That's why you might wake up in the middle of the night feeling fully rested, even though it's still dark outside. This doesn't mean something is wrong. It simply means your body is operating on a slightly different schedule. Think of it like a clock that has been gradually adjusted over the years, ticking forward a little more with each passing season. While this change isn't harmful, it can be frustrating if your daily routine, family life, or personal preferences don't align with this new rhythm. There's also a psychological element to this shift. Many older adults live in quieter environments or spend more time alone, which can reinforce the body's natural tendency to wind down earlier in the day. Without the hustle and bustle of a busy household or the social engagements that once kept bedtime later, the body starts its nightly shutdown process much sooner. If you're retired or no longer following a rigid schedule with work, commutes, or structured activities, the absence of these external time cues can make the shift even stronger. Consider Charles, a 68-year-old retiree. His evenings are fairly routine. Dinner at 5:30 p.m., an hour of television, then bed. By 9 p.m., he's fast asleep, and by 3 a.m., his body naturally wakes up, feeling fully rested. At first, he assumed he had insomnia, but once he learned about advanced sleep phase, he realized his sleep wasn't disrupted. It had simply been rescheduled. To adjust, Charles made small changes to his evening routine. He started staying up a little longer by reading under a warm light, taking an evening walk after dinner, and occasionally calling his daughter for a quick chat before bed. These simple social and sensory adjustments helped extend his sleep window, allowing him to wake up closer to morning. The result? Fewer 3 a.m. awakenings and a sleep schedule that felt more in tune with his daily life. This natural shift in sleep patterns is something many older adults experience, yet few openly discuss. Understanding it can help remove feelings of frustration or confusion, allowing you to approach sleep with more self-compassion. So, if you often wake up around 3 a.m. and feel as though you've already had a full night's rest, your body may simply be following an earlier schedule. Once you recognize this, you can make adjustments to your routine that better support your well-being. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, leave a comment with the number 2 below to let us know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Your support allows us to keep creating content that informs and inspires. Now let's move on. The third reason: physical discomfort and health-related interruptions. Another major cause of waking up around 3 a.m. is the body's response to physical discomfort or underlying health conditions that tend to surface during the stillness of the night. As we age, the likelihood of experiencing chronic issues or minor health concerns increases, and many of these can subtly disrupt sleep without immediately standing out as a major problem. Instead, they appear in small, quiet ways. A stiff joint, a full bladder, or a sudden twinge in the back, often enough to pull you out of deep sleep. For example, arthritis can make it difficult to stay in the same position for long periods. You may not feel the discomfort when you first fall asleep, but after several hours of lying still, the stiffness and aches can become enough to wake you up. For others, acid reflux can be a problem at night, especially if they eat dinner too late or lie down too soon after eating. Even minor issues, such as dry mouth, muscle cramps, or subtle changes in room conditions, can contribute to nighttime awakenings. Temperature fluctuations can cause light awakenings in the early morning, a time when your body's natural defenses are more sensitive and less adaptable than they once were. One of the most common physical reasons older men wake up around 3 a.m. is the urge to urinate. As we age, the bladder loses some of its elasticity, making the need to relieve it more sudden and frequent. During the day, distractions keep your mind occupied, so you may not notice it as much. But in the stillness of the night, that sensation becomes impossible to ignore. And once you get up and move around, even if only for a quick trip to the bathroom, your body may transition from deep sleep to a lighter, more alert state, making it harder to fall back asleep. Medications are another factor that can quietly influence sleep patterns. Many older adults take prescription drugs for blood pressure, heart health, or pain management, and these can come with side effects such as frequent urination, body temperature changes, or increased sensitivity to noise and light, any of which can disturb sleep without being immediately obvious. You might not even connect your medication to your sleep disturbances until someone brings it to your attention, or you begin tracking your nighttime habits more closely. Take Eleanor, for example, a 76-year-old woman who has always been a relatively light sleeper. Over the past year, she noticed she was consistently waking up around 3:30 a.m. At first, she assumed it was simply a natural part of aging, but after discussing it with her doctor, she discovered that one of her medications was affecting her hydration levels, increasing her nighttime trips to the bathroom. With her doctor's guidance, she adjusted the timing of her dosage and made a few lifestyle tweaks which helped her wake up less often and fall back asleep more easily when she did. The key takeaway here is that waking up for physical reasons doesn't mean your body is failing. In fact, it's a sign that your body is still functioning as it should, responding, adjusting, and signaling when something needs attention. These signals can serve as helpful reminders to listen to your body, make informed choices, and take small steps toward better health and more restful sleep. While waking up at 3 a.m. may seem like an inconvenience, it can also be an opportunity to tune in, check in, and make small adjustments that enhance your well-being. Now let's move on to reason number 4, lifestyle habits that influence sleep rhythms. A major but often overlooked reason many older adults find themselves awake at 3 a.m. is the accumulation of small daily habits that gradually shift their internal clock. Over time, simple changes, such as eating dinner earlier, winding down sooner in the evening, or becoming less physically active, can subtly signal to the body that nighttime should begin earlier. As a result, wake-up times shift earlier as well. When daily life becomes quieter, especially after retirement, the body loses many of the external cues it once relied on, such as commuting, running errands, or engaging in physically or mentally stimulating activities. Without these signals, the body's sleep-wake cycle can start to drift forward. A calm, dimly lit evening with minimal stimulation can trigger melatonin production earlier than expected, leading to an earlier bedtime, sometimes before you even realize it. And once you fall asleep earlier, your body completes its sleep cycle earlier, leaving you wide awake in the pre-dawn hours, often right around 3 a.m. Food timing also plays a role in sleep quality. While eating dinner early can be beneficial, it may sometimes lead to a drop in blood sugar levels overnight, especially if there's no small snack before bed. This drop may not always register as hunger, but it can be enough to stir the body from sleep. Additionally, caffeine, even when consumed in the afternoon, can linger in the system longer as metabolism slows with age. This can subtly impact sleep quality, making you more prone to waking up at even the slightest disturbance. Consider Walter, a 74-year-old who recently retired. His daily routine gradually became less structured and his evenings more relaxed. He started having dinner around 5 p.m., dozing off in his recliner while watching the evening news, and heading to bed before 9 p.m. most nights. Without realizing it, his schedule had shifted forward by several hours. Before long, he was waking up around 3 a.m., puzzled as to why he was fully alert before sunrise. After reflecting on his habits, Walter made a few simple adjustments. He added a short walk to his afternoons, read under brighter lighting in the evening, and avoided napping after dinner. These adjustments helped shift his natural sleep window slightly later, allowing his body to fall into a rhythm that aligns more closely with his preferred wake-up time. What's striking is how often we fail to recognize the impact of routine. Our bodies thrive on rhythm, daily patterns that signal to our brains when it's time to rest, and when it's time to wake up. When these signals weaken or shift, the body's internal clock can lose its balance, leading to earlier fragmented sleep. However, by recognizing these patterns and making intentional adjustments, it's possible to gently guide the body back to a more restful and uninterrupted sleep cycle. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support enables us to keep creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move on. Number 5, emotional and psychological restlessness. Sometimes waking up at 3 a.m. has less to do with physical factors and more to do with the mind. As we age, emotional layers that were once hidden under the busyness of daily life can begin to surface in the stillness of the night. These early morning hours, when the world is quiet and distractions are few, often become the time when unspoken worries, regrets, or longings come to the forefront. You may find yourself awake not due to noise or discomfort, but because your mind is quietly processing memories, unresolved feelings, or subtle anxieties that you didn't realize were still there. This type of restlessness is different from the full-blown anxiety often experienced in younger years. It's quieter, more reflective. It may feel like a faint hum in the background, a sense that something is unsettled, even if you can't pinpoint what it is. When the mind isn't occupied, it tends to revisit old relationships, past decisions, losses, or unsaid words. And since the body isn't rushing between daily tasks, there's more space for these thoughts to resurface. Loneliness can also play a role in this. For many older adults, social circles become smaller over time. Children move away, friends become busy, and daily routines change. While daytime might be filled with activity, nighttime brings quiet, which can heighten the awareness of this emotional gap. This type of loneliness doesn't always feel heavy. Sometimes it presents itself as a desire for connection or a subtle longing for someone to talk to when the house is silent. Consider Gloria, for example, an 80-year-old widow. During the day, she keeps herself busy with gardening, calling her grandchildren, or watching her favorite shows. But around 3 a.m., she often wakes up and finds herself reflecting on moments she shared with her late husband, or worrying about things she usually tucks away during the day. Initially, she thought there was something wrong with her sleep, but over time, she came to realize that her early awakenings weren't about sleep issues at all. They were her heart's way of asking to be heard. To support herself, Gloria began keeping a small journal by her bedside. When she wakes up, she writes down whatever is on her mind. Nothing elaborate, just a few sincere thoughts. She also created a quiet evening ritual, like listening to soft music or writing a brief note to a friend. These small acts of reflection and connection gave her emotions a gentle outlet, which helped ease her mind and allowed her to return to sleep more peacefully. The truth is, the human heart doesn't follow a strict schedule. It recalls what it needs to, asks the questions it must ask, and sometimes it does all of this at 3 a.m. when everything else is quiet. But that isn't a flaw, it's a sign of depth. If you find yourself waking up and feeling reflective, it could mean you're carrying wisdom that's ready to be acknowledged. You've lived through joys and heartbreaks, and these experiences shape not only your memories, but your sense of self. Instead of viewing these awakenings as something to fix, try approaching them with curiosity and kindness. What is your mind trying to tell you? What do you need to express? What part of you needs some grace, even in the darkness? Sometimes the most meaningful rest comes not from ignoring these moments, but from honoring them. By doing so, you may discover not only better sleep, but also a deeper understanding of yourself in this stage of life. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on what you've just heard. What resonated with you the most? Was it the shift in your internal clock, the gradual changes in your health, or perhaps something deeper, like an emotional rhythm that only reveals itself in the stillness of the night? Each of these 5 factors provides a unique perspective on why you might wake up early in the morning. None of them suggests something is wrong or broken. Instead, they show that your body and mind are still working, responding, and adapting as you progress through life. There's a quiet strength in understanding what your body is trying to communicate, especially in those peaceful moments before dawn. Rather than viewing 3 a.m. wake-ups as a problem, you might begin to see them as messages, gentle reminders to pay closer attention to your needs, habits, and emotions. You're not alone in this experience, and you're certainly not the only one looking for answers. But with insight comes strength, and with strength comes the freedom to make small, meaningful changes that promote better rest, greater comfort, and a deeper connection to your natural rhythms. If you recognized yourself in any of these reasons today, understand that you're not just aging, you're evolving. And with that evolution comes an opportunity to rest more mindfully, care for yourself more gently, and approach each new day with more peace and understanding. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned and how you plan to incorporate it into your life. Your thoughts are important to us, and reading your comments inspires and motivates us. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to leave a like to support the channel's growth and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest from Elders Health.